Hello, hello. Good morning. Your Excellency, Chief, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very pleased to welcome you to the 55th Annual General Meeting of the company, AIICO Insurance PLC, being held here in Lagos. Before I declare the meeting open, may I call upon the Company Secretary to announce to the meeting if the quorum is duly formed. Company Secretary.
I would like to call on the registrars, Coronation Registrars Limited, to confirm that the necessary quorum for this meeting has been met.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, directors, regulatory officers present, and esteemed shareholders. I am Mary Adeleye. I represent Coronation Registrars Limited, the registrars to your company. The Articles of Association of your company prescribes the quorum for this meeting as members personally present, not being less than 3, and holding or representing by proxy not less than 50% of the issued capital of the company. Please note that at the start of this meeting, we have 301 members physically present and 95 members represented by proxy, with a total of 26,640,063,986 shareholding, representing 72.77% of the company's issued share capital. With this information, I hereby confirm that a quorum has been formed. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you for confirmation, registrars. I therefore declare the meeting open. Some of your directors who are unavoidably absent from attending this meeting in person, having foisted with an inevitable need of attending of business exigencies, which come up at a very short notice. You must agree that there is a need to clinch every business opportunity that will enhance our books, our profitability, and stronger dividend payment going forward. Specifically, Mr. Adewale Kadri, ED Technical, and Mr. Benga Ilori are attending business closing meetings, but will also join the meeting of the AGM from their respective locations, while all other directors who are still serving on the board of AIICO Insurance PLC are either in person or online. You may recall that at least the last AGM, you have graciously approved that directors and shareholders may be able to join the annual general meeting either in person or virtually. With the managing director, the company secretary, and the chief finance officer, including my humble self, present, we will endeavor to address all your questions that you may have on the operations of the company. In accordance with our usual practice, members present will have the opportunity to review the operating results of the company for the year ended 31st December 2024 and participate fully in the proceedings. Seconder of each motion put to the meeting shall come from the floor, and there will be a time for questions on any motion before it is put to the meeting for voting. To facilitate the counting of the vote, please raise your admission cards when you vote. Standing and roving microphones with amplifying equipments are being used so that anyone present will be able to hear. I would therefore request that those seconding motions or asking questions would speak clearly into the microphone nearest to them or passed to them by the ushers. They should please commence by stating their names and giving the admission card to the floor officials on demand. This will assist the company secretary to accurately noting their names. The register of directors holding is available for inspection during the meeting in compliance with the Companies and Allied Matters Act. We have made the provision for virtual access and streaming services to ensure that shareholders and directors who are unable to physically present can also participate at this meeting. The registrar has circulated a link to the shareholders who have provided their email addresses. The link can also be found on our website. Before we proceed with the business of the meeting, I would like to introduce to you my colleagues on the board and key members of the management. To my left is Mr. Babatunde Fajimirokun, the Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer of the company. From my immediate right is Dr. Donald Kano, the Company Secretary. Next to Donald is Mrs. Folake Edun, a non-executive director. The other directors who are presently virtually connected are Mr. Raymond Snyders, Olalekon Akinyemi, Kemi Adewole, Ademola Adebisi, Benga Elori, and Adewali Kaduri. Behind me, starting from the directors of our associated company, from my extreme right is Mr. Femi Ademola, the Chief Executive of AIICO Capital Limited. Next to Femi is Dr. Leke Oshuni, the Managing Director of AIICO Multisheet Limited. Next to Dr. Okunushing, our key management staff of AIICO, Mrs. Bishola Elias, the Chief Finance Officer. Next to Bishola is Mr. Abiodun Adebanjo, the Chief Risk Officer. Next to Abiodun is Mrs. Titilola Okunola, the Head Technical Retail Business. Next to TT is Mrs. Sara Adeniran, Head Group Life Business. While sitting next to Sara is Mr. Olatunji Arinle, the Chief Internal Auditor. And sitting next to Tunji is Ms. Kyo Wangasha, the Chief Actuary. Next to Kyo is Mr. Oladele Akani, the Regional Manager North. And next to him is Mr. Oluyemi Obakin, the Chief Human Resource Officer. I am Kundan Senani. I also like to welcome Ms. Peggy Halliday, the representative of Nigerian Exchange Group, the representative of NICOM, the representative of Security and Exchange Commission, the representative of Corporate Affairs Commission, Barrister Mrs. Habiba Adamu Diko, Baba Yomi Ajibola, and Benjamin Atanda. The representative of Messrs. Ernst and Young Professional Services, our external auditors. And finally, members of the Statutory Audit Committee, the Vice Chairman, Chief Edmund Njoku. The Statutory Audit Committee, the Vice Chairman, Chief Edmund Njoku. The Vice Chairman, Chief Edmund Njoku. And finally, members of the Statutory Audit Committee, the Vice Chairman, Chief Edmund Njoku. And finally, members of the Statutory Audit Committee, the Vice Chairman, Chief Mrs. Esther Augustine, and Chief Robert Igwe. Permit me to welcome Chief Soni Nwosu, the Emeritus National Coordinator of the Independent Shareholders Association of Nigeria, Pastor Alex Adio, the Chairman, Dynamic Shareholders Association of Nigeria, Mr. Boniface Nwosu, the Chairman of Progressive Shareholder Association, Mr. Anthony Kachi, President, Noble Shareholders Solidarity Association, and several distinguished members representing various shareholders across the country. May I also confirm that Emeritus Chairman and Co-Shareholder, Chief Dr. Oladele Fajimirokun, who is not able to join this meeting presently in person, but by proxy, send warmest regard and also logged on. All the Shareholders Association leaders and members are hereby recognized. Perhaps at this point, it may be imperative to clarify that while Mr. Samaila Zaberu attendance in the year under review could have been better, he has been preoccupied as the CEO of African Finance Corporation. It is instructed to note that he has been able to move around a number of things, and in the present year, we can confirm to you that his attendance at the meeting presently have been 100%, and believe he will be able to sustain this. I will now call on the Company Secretary to read the notice of the meeting.
Notice of the 55th Annual General Meeting of AIICO Insurance PLC. Notice is hereby given that the 55th Annual General Meeting of AIICO Insurance PLC will be held on Tuesday, May 27, 2025, at 11 a.m. at the Civic Centre, opposite 1004 Estate, Ozumba Mbadiwe Street, Lagos, to transact the following businesses. 1, ordinary business. To lay before the meeting the report of the Directors' Statement of Financial Position as at December 31st, 2024, together with the Statement of Profit or Loss and other comprehensive income for the year ended on that date, and the reports of the Auditors and the Audit Committee thereon. 2, to declare a dividend. 3, to elect or re-elect directors retiring by rotation. 4, to authorize the directors to fix the remuneration of the auditors. 5, to disclose the remuneration of managers. 6, to elect members of the Statutory Audit Committee. Special business, to approve the remuneration of non-executive directors. This notice was given by order of the board on the 7th of April, 2025. There are notes attached to the notice. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Kano. Am I to read my report or have it taken as read? Thank you. Thank you very much. I will now ask the representative of our external auditors to read the auditor's report.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the Board of Directors and management team of AIICO Insurance PLC. Good morning, shareholders, distinguished shareholders and regulators here present. My name is Babayomi Ajijola, representing Ernst & Young, the external auditors. The independent auditor's report can be found on pages 99 to 105 of the annual report and accounts 2024. In the interest of time, I crave your indulgence to just read the opinion paragraph. Thank you. We have audited the consolidated and separate financial statements of AIICO Insurance PLC, the company, and its subsidiaries, together the group, which comprise the consolidated and separate statements of financial position as at 31 December 2024, and the consolidated and separate statements of profit or loss and other comprehensive income, the consolidated and separate statements of changes in equity, and the consolidated and separate statements of cash flows for the year then ended, and notes to the consolidated and separate financial statements, including material accounting policy information. In our opinion, the accompanying consolidated and separate financial statements give a true and fair view of the consolidated and separate financial position of the group and the company as at 31 December 2024, and its consolidated and separate financial performance and consolidated and separate cash flows for the year then ended in accordance with IFRS accounting standards as issued by the International Accounting Standards Board, the provisions of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020, the Insurance Act 2003, and relevant policy guidelines issued by the National Insurance Commission, NICOM, the Investment and Securities Act 2007, and in compliance with the Financial Reporting Council of Nigeria Amendment Act 2023. The independent auditor's report, as reflected on page 105, is signed by my humble self, Abayomi Ajijola, for Ernst & Young on 31 March 2025. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Babayomi. May I now call on the member of the audit committee, the vice chairman, and the representative of the shareholders, Chief Igwe, to read the audit committee's report. Please pass on the mic to Chief Igwe, please. Ushers.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the Board of Directors of AIICO Insurance PLC, distinguished fellow shareholders. My name is High Chief Ajie Robert Igbe. I'm reading the Audit Committee report on behalf of the Chairman. Report of the Statutory Audit Committee. Okay, is contained on page 51 of the annual report. Report of the Statutory Audit Committee for the year ended the 31st December 2024. To the members of AIICO Insurance PLC. In accordance with the provisions of section 404, subsection 7 of Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020, we, the members of the Statutory Audit Committee of AIICO Insurance PLC, hereby carried out our statutory functions under the Act, hereby report as follows. We have reviewed the scope and planning of the audit for the year ended 31st December 2024. And we confirmed that they were adequate. The company's reporting and the accounting policy, as well as internal control system, confirm legal requirements and the agreed ethical practice. And we are satisfied with the responses to the external auditors' findings on management matters for the year ended the 31st December 2024. Finally, we acknowledge and appreciate the cooperation of the management and the staff in the conduct of these duties. This report was signed on behalf of it was signed by the Audit Committee Chairman, Mr. Samaila Subaru, on the 12th March 2025. And members of the Statutory Audit Committee are 1, Mr. Samaila Subaru, Independent Director, Representative, Chairman. Sir Edmond N. Njoku, Shareholder Representing, also Vice Chairman of the Audit Committee. Mrs. Funke Augustine, Shareholder Representative, Member. Myself, High Chief Ajie Robert Igbe, representing the shareholders, also a member. Mr. Raymond Sniping, Director Representative, Defraud Representative, also a member. The company secretary, legal advisor, acted as the secretary to the committee. And thank you. God bless you.
Thank you, Chief Igwe. As the first item of the agenda, I hereby lay before you the report of the directors, the statement of the financial position as at 31st December 2024, the statement of comprehensive income of our company for the period ended on that date, and the report thereon of the auditors and the Statutory Audit Committee. To ensure that we answer your questions accurately, please refer to the pages on the report and accounts to which your questions relate. I would also suggest that the members should be brief in their comments and restrict question to 1 or 2 to afford the opportunity to many shareholders to contribute. So members, in case if you have any questions on the okay, we'll start from this row and go one by one. Yes, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, the board, management, and my fellow shareholder. The name is Igru de Moses, the National Coordinator of Independent Shareholders Association of Nigeria. First and foremost, I have to appreciate the board and management of AIICO, and in celebration of 55th annual general meeting over half a century. It is not easy to navigate and survive the business terrain as we have it today. That is why when you see the front cover of our annual report is saying a legacy built on trust, driven by what? Excellence. You would have included driven also by what? Experience. Experience you can buy. You have 55 or over 55 experience. That is a legacy that you know you cannot come by. Many insurance companies have come and gone, but yet you are surviving. Now, my concern is sustainability. How do we survive for the next 55 years? What are the strategies we are putting on ground to make sure that we survive. It's very key, and it's one of my concerns anytime I speak to companies. We have a lot of things that are happening. This digital age, there are a lot of things that happen. Aside of the cyber crime or cyber security threat, we have misinformation. Misinformation, that anything can happen today. Somebody who is not happy with you and all of that generates something, starts circulating it around, trying to what? Drag that institution down. How are we prepared? In this present age where anything can happen. How are we prepared? How are IT prepared? How are security, internet or digital security, how are we prepared to make sure we are well, we can check it anytime it comes around. Another thing I have seen in your marketing is that, and I love it, and I will use this opportunity to appreciate it. Whenever you book an air ticket, before you know it, click insurance. AIICO will just appear. Before you know it, the certificate of insurance will be sent directly to your email. Without it is only AIICO I've seen it. Please clap for them. If you are somebody who books flight in Nigeria, you will see it. Immediately you click, bam, like this. In your email, you will see that insurance. That is great. What your IT is doing, what you are doing is what? Very, very superb. And you should continue. Welcome, sir. So, the truth of the matter is that you are on the right track. That is, if all your insurance, whether motor insurance, vehicle insurance, air insurance, whatever insurance you are buying, the moment you buy it and you get your certificate, you are rest assured. And above all, our insurance payment claim, you should continue it, and it's good for us to show it. The way I'm saying it right now, that your product in terms of the air ticket is the same thing we should be displaying and making people know that we are paying our claim. Because if you pay your claim, that is the only way you can build confidence. And as you are aware, so aware, our insurance penetration in Nigeria is very low. And the only way we can build that confidence is by what? Paying our claim. And which you are one of the number one that is doing it. So please, you keep it up. Now, my finance comment will be on what are we doing as an insurance industry to have a very comprehensive and deep insurance penetration in Nigeria. Because it's a problem. When people buy insurance, if you ask that, what experience are insurance? I will see up to 10 people who will tell you that it's a very bad experience. A situation where somebody will come to you for life insurance, after paying some time, something happened, you didn't pay. Oh, you said, when the time comes, you say, no, you didn't pay. How are you using technology to make sure that all your customers are reminded, even if your staff have moved on? Even if your staff that market me has moved to another company, how do you do it so that I will not be left out? Because most things, I see that you come to me, well, Sharon, I will be paying because of you. But the moment you move the staff move away, nobody comes to me, I tend to forget. How are you using this technology-driven asset to make sure that you retain the customer even when the staff that you employ today has moved on tomorrow. Thank you, and God bless you. Ibrude Moses is the name.
Thank you very much. We'll go row by row, please.
Thank you, our amiable chairman. I'm standing on the sitting protocol. My name is Tuji Bamidele. I'm a member of professional investors across Africa. I'm one of the leaders of the Starlight Shareholder in Nigeria. My chairman, I'm in line with the last speaker by appreciating the board for the excellent performance, because according to the record here, at page 12, when we are looking at the result at glance, we observe that the thing is upward trend, starting from the revenue to the profit on this report. We really appreciate all of you, even all the management and people working in this industry. And we believe, we pray God will continue to be with you, sir. My chairman, I have a few areas that I want to call your attention to. You are performing, but there's a room for improvement, because people are looking at you as a leader in this industry. As a professional, we are studying you bomba by bomba to study and encourage all people that are going into the business. My chairman, page 17 to 20, chairman report, very detailed and very impressive. But we observe you are proposing 7 kobo dividend out of a 41 naira any per share. I would like to ask this question, my chairman. Can you tell us that we have a stable dividend policy? Because we expect the return on investment to be more than this. Because 7 out of 41, we look at it that I think it's around about 3 or 4%. We'd like to know. And we need better explanation about the recapitalization. What position are we now on the issue of recapitalization? Now, page 28 to 31, you disclose all about the CSR, which is impressive. We can appeal to you that you can continue about that. All the picture there telling us area you are taught, you touch a lot of life, and very, very impressive. You could be able to move forward. Sir, page 47 to 50, board attendance is impressive. You know, it's a sign of commitment to all the board members, and it's a good in the area of corporate governance. And we appeal to new member to be in line with you. Sir, I'm not comfortable to page 53. I need a better explanation. Shareholding structure. You see, when I had the number there, my chairman, it's not up to 100%. 71.79 to substantial shareholder, and 27.89 to free float. When we had both of them together, I want you to look at it. Why is not 100%, something wrong somewhere? My chairman, I want to ask, and what the effort of the management in area of staff training, especially AI, artificial intelligence, to be able to drive the business to the next level. And there's a challenge in industry this time around about the cyber threat. What are you putting in place in the area of cyber security that things will be able to move to the next level, and there won't be any challenges? And we observe that there's a lot of issue of a claim or people, the number of the people that you want to attend this year is increasing. I would like to know, because it is a signal that you are performing, but at least its percentage is so high. I need better explanation, page 244, other expenses. Other expenses increased tremendously to the highest level. I think what you are promising us last year, you cut costs, but this time around, there's no signal of cutting costs. Things is moving up. We need to know, what are you doing? Page 248, unclaimed dividend is moving from 1.1 to 1.8 within a year. What are you doing? What the management put in place on area of unclaimed dividend? Because the level that is moving is too high. And your contravention 1.1. We want to know what really happened in area of contravention and what efforts are put in the area of compliance for such kind of thing will not reflect again the book. Finally, my chairman, because of timing, I want to be brief. There's issue of a litigation. You have a lot of pending litigation since 2001 up to date, almost about 20-something years. I want to appeal to the chairman and board. What are you doing on the issue of long litigation? Can't you look at some office where you can settle out of the court? When you are battling with the court for almost 20-something years. And can you tell us what's your position as at now? I really appreciate you. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you, Mr. Tunji. Thank you. Third row, please.
Mr. Chairman, AIICO Insurance PLC, our directors of this great company, further distinguished shareholders, good morning. My name is Okezia Boniface. Mr. Chairman, I want to congratulate you. Even though the dividend is not bigger as we're expecting, but 7 kobo is not easy to come by. On 41 kobo earning, you are giving us 7 kobo. The chairman, we need to double our earning. Because if you go on page, made a huge profit, Mr. Chairman, which no other insurance have even to match. Go to on page 6, Mr. Chairman, our performance. Total assets, 416 billion. Gross written premium, 159 billion. Total equity, 67.8 billion. Mr. Chairman, these are indices that we have really performed despite the challenges in the economy. Because this one speaks to itself that we are not a pushover in the insurance industry today. AIICOs still remain higher among its peers in the industry. Like the first speaker said, we have not yet penetrated deep into the market, insurance sectors today. Mr. Chairman, our shareholders fund have also improved very better than the previous year. It's 7.2 billion, profit before tax, 15.8 billion. Mr. Chairman, this gives hope that the dividend would have been up. But because of the earning, 41, and we also need to savings. If you pay all out all that you earn, you're not a good manager or an astute businessman. There must be for rainy season. As an insurance, you don't have to pay all out at a go. In case an eventuality, things happen, you need to fall back. The previous you pay bonuses is because you have enough buffer return earnings. Mr. Chairman, that does not say there must be room for improvement. If our earnings have been higher, you ought to pay very well. Mr. Chairman, our dividend policy, until we stop paying dividend of kobo, when we move to Naira, because what AIICO has done, that will double also our capital appreciation. We cannot be trading at 1 Naira, 60 kobo or thereabout, based on what AIICO is doing in the industry. Our equity should be going to higher than other ones in the market today, because you have a strong brand. And going to subsidiary with Parade, they are all doing well. You go to Life, General Insurance, you are expert, you are doing very well. In HMO, Health Management Organization, you are doing very well. So I don't see why we should trade in at 1 Naira 60 kobo. That's what baffles me. And that have to go to do with the dividend payout. Yeah, dividend enhancement will improve that people will rush in this company because you are doing well in all parameters. Excellent. You are doing well. So I don't know why our price should be trading where it is today. That's my concern. That's my concern. It does not match with what AIICO is doing, our share price. It have not matched what AIICO is doing. Mr. Chairman, if you look at page 14 and 15, I want to commend the company for foreign exchange gain on policyholder assets when others are declaring loss. We are still making money from foreign exchange policyholders. It's a good one. 7 billion is not easy to come by. I want to commend the management for the prudent, for the tenacity, driving this, making this profit. Mr. Chairman, net expenses from the insurance contracts, 24 billion, as against 15 in previous or 8, is also gone high. Mr. Chairman, net insurance, reinsurance, finance expenses, 19 billion, as against 10 in previous. We need to watch that. Which also bring down to profit before income tax and net FS gains and impairment, 12.4 billion. Mr. Chairman, the indices here have clearly showed that we're still a leader, a company to be trusted. When you are paying your obligations to a client, which is claim settlement, which you have been doing promptly, paying claim, and that's why you are still in business, because that's the hallmark of insurance. If that trust has been betrayed, nobody will approach you to do business with them. I want to commend you for doing that. Mr. Chairman, because this is a national insurance, whether we like it or not, they have gone international and local. Mr. Chairman, page 32 and page 33, we need to look at also, take a second look at our board composition. This is a national outfit, and as such, it needs to reflect that national in nature. Mr. Chairman, you got my message. Mr. Chairman, on page 37, we need to also commend the company for donating, despite the headwinds, despite the economic challenges, giving back to the society is very, very commendable. But let it not be the rich giving the richer are getting richer, the poor are getting poorer. We must also give back to those who deserve it. These are donations. It must go to the poor people. Empowerment. The chairman, on page 37. Finally, Mr. Chairman, because of time, go back to the office. Well.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, this is your policy on third party, enhancing third party insurance, introducing enhanced third party. That's on page 50. We need more advert, more education. As that third party, if I pay 30,000 to obtain a policy as a third party, what is my benefit if my car has an accident? If my car is worth of, let's say, 13 million, and it had an accident, how much return this company is going to fix that car completely, return it back it is? We need to know, because the top party today is about 15,000, and if I paid 30,000, how much shall accrue to me that the insurance is going to respond to taking repair of that car? God bless you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Last. We'll come back.
Hello, my chairman. I'm Comrade Lawrence Oguntoye. I rise to stand on the existing protocol. I'm glad to be here once again to celebrate with you with the 55th AIICO Insurance Annual General Meeting. Much has been said as regards the reports. Although it's a year of celebration, we need to celebrate with you because all your financial indices look attractive and it looks magnanimous. At this economic trajectory, at this volatile economic system we find ourselves, you are still able to present to us attractive financial indices. I quickly want to run to the recommendation and questions so as to give other opportunity to speak. And the issue of, on the area of recommendation, I would like the board and management to subscribe to it in the interest based on my research work. 1, management should address the decline in insurance service results by refining risk assessments and pricing strategies. Management should evaluate the cost effectiveness of current reinsurance contracts to improve profitability. Management should ensure ongoing adherence to IFRS 17 and other regulatory requirements to sustain shareholders' confidence. 2 questions straight. I just have 2 questions, and I'll be glad if you can answer that. 1, what specific step is AIICO taking to improve underwriting margin in light of the reported decline? 2, how does the AIICO plans to manage the increased costs associated with reinsurance contracts? On a final note, Mr. Chairman, I cannot but to appreciate the integral board and management that baked this cake. I cannot but to appreciate the able company secretary that attends to us. He has sent to us 247. If I give him a call, he do answer. He answer based on the sensitive and pertinent issues. I cannot but to appreciate our able, resilient MD for his efforts so as to put this, to fill our mouths with laughter. On a final note, I wish our company a robust profitability and sustainability. Once again, I'm Comrade Lawrence Oguntoye. Thank you very much.
Thank you
God
very
bless
much.
you.
Thank you. Chief.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. My name is Sir Sonny Nwosu. I am very happy attending this AGM because I haven't heard of AIICO AGM for a very long time. And I know very well that the promoters of AIICO do not believe in payment of dividend. Rather, they want to boost the quality of the shares in your hand. Mr. Chairman, when I was growing up, nobody talks of any insurance company other than AIICO. AIICO. When are we going to get back to that level? So that everybody will start thinking of AIICO as premier insurance company in this country. And before I continue, I want to congratulate the company secretary because the last time he was not having doctor in his name, but this time he's having doctor. Congratulations for that. Yeah. So I was worried about the liquidation issue. We were penalized 190 million. What was the matter? Why we were penalized 190 million? But then, there are so many ways of settling litigal issues. We can always engage those that sued against us, and we discuss over it, and at the end of the day, we'll come out with something lesser than expected from the court. So we cannot just waste 190 million just like that, because I don't know the nitty-gritty of the case. That's why I call it waste. So if you can be kind enough to explain to us what really happened between AIICO and Anolu or something like that, we'll be able to appreciate whether you have done very well by paying that, or there's still room for a better settlement, because the man we paid 192 today could be a good customer of us tomorrow. You know, it's very important we do that. And I am sorry, I do not talk for too much, but I think strongly that, like my colleague spoke, there's improvement on AIICO. So whoever pays 77 kobo has done well, because if the opportunity arises, he will pay 1 naira too. So I believe I cannot be convinced less than the fact that AIICO, as big as AIICO is, will have a dividend policy. and what they can pay out as dividend from time to time, and what they may not be able to pay out because of the continuity of the business. But what is more important to me, because I have interest in some insurance company, is that we must pay claims as and whenever it's due, because that is what attracts customers to insurance company. We must not push them around, because once you push them around, the message will go around too. And those that has the feeling of taking up insurance will be discouraged because of the negative information coming from experience. Mr. Chair, can you tell us how far have we responded to government policies or compulsory insurance policies? It's very important, because we have had, before now, we thought we are going to make good money from insurance companies if they are able to adhere to the policies of the government, saying you must insure your building, you must do this, at a certain stage of the building, you must insure it. So we have to mount up publicity to reinsure or inform the people that this is government policy, so that we can take benefit from that too. So third-party insurance, how is it working with us? Because I know that some people are not well educated about the third-party insurance. And the penetration of insurance, penetration of insurance policies, at what percentage it is. Because I want to lay the blame to government, because the government is not helping the insurance companies to enforce certain laws. When you enforce certain laws, people will not want to fall foul of such laws. They want to adhere to such laws, which will be to the benefit of the insurance companies. Mr. Chair, one of our major shareholders, I've looked around, I didn't see it. I'm sure Tunde will tell me about that later. Because as far as he is concerned, dividend is not the issue, but enhancement of the quality of the stock you have at hand is his own policy. This I know because I've worked with him, and I know most of his intentions, which also is beneficial to us here. Because if you are paying 7 kobo or 6 kobo, I can't remember, 7 kobo, and the enhancement of the shares will get me more than that in the capital market, I want to sell the shares to make more money than waiting for 7 kobo dividend. So that is his policy, enhancement of the quality of the shares. So I want to leave it as I've said, because I do not talk for too long. So, and I'm sorry that I didn't get up. It's health nature that made me not to get up. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Last, please.
Hey, Chairman, very distinguished fellow shareholders, other directors, both those that are here physical and those that are joining us online. I want to join the earlier speakers in pointing us to the cover page that talks about, interestingly, the cover page talked about legacy and talked about trust, and then talk about excellence. But if you then look at the main body of this account, what you are going to find, first let me start on the note of the day for this meeting, and that probably explains why you are paying us 70 kobo. I know people are going to take me on that. If today is Children's Day, and you paid 5 kobo last year, what would be natural, haven't paid 3 kobo the previous year. What I was expecting that you do is exactly the 7 kobo. But if I then move it to next year with another 2 kobo, it means that next year you are going to pay 9 kobo. I want to tell you that I will be happy that you prove me wrong. But my major concern is how to enhance the activity, and by extension, performance of this company. So I'm going to run through some areas. First, if you look at this report on page 8, one of the things you are going to find is that given the size of the board, one would have expected that the 3 other boards will have had just 3-4 lines indicating who the directors on the subsidiaries are, because that itself will help to give a better understanding as to who and who are helping to drive the business that we are talking about. If you then go to page 32 and 33, as well as page 11 and page 48, what you are going to find there is a situation where we still have only 2 independent directors. And given the fact that we are 62 years old as a company and haven't been on the market for that long, one of the things we should have concluded by now is to have the 3 independent directors on our board. But if you then look at the results generally, on page 49, I think that the governance report as presented by our external assessors is lacking in substance. And I say this with all due respect, because that report is expected to help shareholders ask questions around what the company is doing. But much more importantly is that report is for shareholders, it's not for directors alone. It's first and foremost for shareholders. So if you write a report in the manner that it has been written and you have not asked shareholders to be able to interrogate it in the areas that the company hasn't done too well, then I have a challenge with it. And I'm be hoping that come next year, this is not the manner of report that you'll be sending to us, because we have nothing to challenge the board on come next year. Mr. Chairman, I am also interested in what our profits, both as company and group. And if you relate that to the investment income, which I consider good, but for us to have profit after tax, 15 billion, investment income, 42 billion, then it needs, it's a major indicator that we constantly need to look at some aspect of our cost. Given the age of AIICO and given the size of your business, my expectation is that your profit after tax should be higher than your investment income. Because what it is reading now is that the businesses are not generating enough money relative to the size of the business that we're doing. And it's in that regard that I will be asking that we look at page 146, 278, and 282. Hello? What you are going to find there is that in 2024, the subsidiaries made a loss, 56 million. This itself is coming in from a profit of almost 700 million in 2022 and 565 million in 2023. I don't know what went wrong, but ordinarily, my projection for 2024 is that the subsidiaries should have made a profit far higher than they made in 2023. So it will be necessary that you explain to us what exactly the challenge is. Because if you look at our healthcare, yes, it's a young business. Again, it posted a loss in the year under review. And I don't know what exactly we are doing to be able to help that business. For the auditors, page 244, I will be unfair to the auditors if this is not mentioned. Auditors' fee moved from 71 million in 2023 to 26 million. I'm not sure this will be correct. But if it's correct, I want to commend them, because one of the things you've heard in recent time is that auditors will tell you fair pricing, and they tell you what is the exchange rate when it comes to pricing. So now that you have coming down, we hope that this will come down further in 2025, so that the profit available to shareholders will also be higher. But that itself is not asking you to make your service lower than it is. Mr. Chairman, looking at the 5-year financial summary, page 277 and 288, one of the major challenges I think that we must also begin to address in 35 years of our being listed, one of the things that you are not consistent with is to list the share price on any of the major pages in this annual account. Because that itself helps in calculating what the yield is. So I'll be hoping that going forward, you need to find the possibility of having it listed where possible along with your 5-year financial summary. Because if you don't, it then also becomes a challenge. Another area that I also think that you need to have some improvements around has to do with the disclosure around fees and salaries. First, in this account, you introduce 2 CEOs of the subsidiaries. Nowhere in this account were they mentioned. And I don't think that is good enough. And then if you also then look at what you have done in terms of appointment of directors, over 90,000 shareholders is a pool that you can pull directors from to represent the minorities. The major shareholders are represented here. And I don't think it's a crime if you have knowledgeable minority shareholders come on board of the main group and on the subsidiaries. And that's one of the reasons why I'll be asking that you should disclose who and who are sitting on those subsidiaries. For the future, and I'll run through this very quickly, I think there is need for a few more branches looking at the visibility and the spread of what we currently have. I think it will help us. There's also the need for us to have disclosures as to the number of membership of subsidiary, like I mentioned. Because if you look at this account on page 246, in total, the number of directorship dropped from 22 to 17, which means that other than what we have on the main board, we have at least 9 other directors in the subsidiaries. And it will be important that we disclose this. When it also comes to board remuneration, I don't think it's in our interest to disclose board remuneration and say the upper limit is over 2 million. When in the same account, talking about range analysis, we have disclosed that the highest paid director is 145 million. So let's spread, and I think this has to do much more with the auditors. Let's spread the band. Don't just give 1 to 2 million. I don't think it speaks well for us. Spread the band because, like I said, the upper limit is 145 million. Mr. Chairman, I also will be hoping that from all indications that on page 291, it is not sufficient for us to list the years in which we have offered bonuses. Let's put the ratio of those bonuses and also attach the size of unclaimed dividends year on year. Because if we don't have that, we are not likely to be certain as to which dividend will be status bar in terms of Q. And on a final note, Mr. Chairman, we have a quorum that says 3. And I don't think that in this age and time, that will not need some amendment. So I'll be hoping that the company secretariat will look at what the quorum should be, but the starting period should not be 3 members. Because given the structure of this company, 3 persons hold what is sufficient for them to call a meeting. And if we want to have better participation, that range needs to be taken higher And it's on this note that I also want to thank the board and management for making sure that they allow for adequate participation in this meeting. We have not only have physical meeting, we are also making sure that anybody that cannot be here, including directors, can join us virtual. That for me is an indication that you are open, and I hope that this openness, in terms of the trust that you talk about in your cover, will be maintaining going forward. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. Please quickly.
Thank you, Mr.
Yes, please
Chairman.
quickly.
Good morning, other directors. Good morning, esteemed shareholders. Mr. Chairman, the name is William Adebayo. A lot of encomium has been passed on this board. But the truth there today is we have to appreciate a fact. The insurance business is facing a tax that we should, all of us should remember today. We are in an era where the banks have become serious competitors. Today, the new sheriff in this insurance business are the banks. Today, we are able to pay 70 kobo because of your years of 7 kobo. 7 kobo. I am wishing you well. We are going there in God's grace. We are able to pay that 7 kobo because of our years of experience and because of the name AIICO. Today, we are leaning on the fact that we have a majority shareholder, that is AIICO Bahamas. Today, if you look at Nigeria today, virtually all sector of insurance has been taken by the banks. This is a fact that we should not toy with. It is on this note that I want to suggest that our board should think of empowering all the subsidiaries to compete. So also, if you look at page 159, under which you mention what you have on equities. I want to ask this honorable board if we can conveniently increase our stake on the quoted and unquoted stocks. Because today, every insurance company, they are fast going into investment to compete effectively with the banks. All the banks that are of holding structure have now grown to have insurance companies competing effectively. So we should not rest on our oars, endeavor to empower all the subsidiaries. So also on that page 59, we are thinking that years to come, the amount you have for unquoted and unquoted equities should increase. Although it increased from over 5 billion to over 9 million, we can do more. Because we are facing an era where you have competitors who are using the banking synergies to draw customers. That is the truth. The banks are using their banking synergies to snatch customers from all insurance companies. So we should be clever enough to empower our subsidiaries. Go effectively into investment. Increase our quoted and unquoted stock to leverage competition and growth. Please, I request that this humble board look into it to compete effectively, because as the years goes around, the competition with the banks that have insurance company will continue to be very, very strong. Thank you for the opportunity given. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll take 1 or 2 more questions. Any female shareholder, gender parity. Okay. A female shareholder, Mrs. Bakare.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Mrs. Bakari Adebisi Oluwayemisi, the National Coordinator of Pragmatic Shareholders Association of Nigeria. Mr. Chairman, I'm not going to waste much of your time because much has been said by the earlier speakers. I just have only one question to ask. My question is on page 236 and 237. I just need a clarification on this page, Mr. Chairman, that I need a clarification. Our expected incurred claims and other incurred insurance service expenses is 24.6 billion. But if you look at page 237 on the insurance service expenses, we incurred claims and other insurance service expenses are 34.1 billion. I think I need the explanation on this. Why do we expected incurred 24.6 and we incurred 34.1 billion? Once again, thank you very much for the opportunity given to me.
Thank you, Mrs. Bakare, to make it very short. Last, Mr. Adio.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Adio A. Alex is the name, Pastor Doctor, and I lead Dynamic Shareholders Association Incorporated, first incorporated shareholders association in Nigeria. Mr. Chairman, you can contest that if we feel like it's the first. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to align myself with all positive comments, and I want to borrow the saying of the late sage, that is late Papa Akintude Ashalo. Anytime it's convenient with the accounts and the deals of a company, it says all plus and no minus. So that is my position this morning, to make it fast. Everything speaks for itself. I go straight to page 83. That is the training of staffs. I think you have done well. But let me add this to it, that I've not seen a note where you train the audit committee members. So if you want a better result, I want to see you moving in that direction. Page 49, retained earnings, that is fantastic. Note 25, page 244, that is note 25B, provision for litigation. Oh, this is great as well. With the size and the nature of our business, we need to do this. I think that's a good move. Penalty not too big, but at the same time, we could avoid it. Let's look at that direction. Our share price as of today, and by the state of this company, is underpriced. I think we need to work more. I watch it every day. I see the fluctuation. I'm sure we are not where we ought to be. I want to commend you on consistent dividend policy. You have always been consistent. We say it loud last year that you should move up this year. You are 7 kobo this year. I want to believe that you are going to cross 10 kobo by next year. That's a prophecy. Say amen. And you will bring, I'm going to round up. You can see that I'm making it fast.
Thank you.
Saying, you want to say something? I'm looking at the chairman. So, and when you do that, by the grace of God next year, you bring our Baba here to walk in majestically as of old. That is the Baba Oba next year. Tell him we are looking forward to see him live at our AGM. Because you are looking at me, I'm attracted to page 146. Can you open that? 146, I'm running. Can't see my own 146. Are you there? I call you. I look at the situation of this young man. Are you there? Are we all there? Oh, this is not good enough. Because the man bashed his car and because he lacks knowledge. So I want to advise everybody here seated, or whether you are online, if you are running a car, please go to AIICO and get yourself covered. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for giving this opportunity. But first of all, I'd like to say, Mr. Chairman, good morning. Our board of directors, regulators present, able shareholders. My name is Jibuno Godfrey Uche. I'm the national coordinator of Youth Alliance Shareholders Association. Now, Mr. Chairman, a lot has been said, but first of all, we give honor to who honor is due. I noticed that Mr. Rotimi Okwase left, our great company. I know he has made an impact, and like I said, I wish him success in his endeavors. On the reports, Mr. Chairman, I see that we had our revenue grew, 49%. Profitability grew also 45%. And our PBT also grew 26%. Mr. Chairman, I would like to commend the board and the management for doing that. We sit here, you are the people working 24 hours. They say who much is given, much is expected. We commend you and we say more grease to your elbow. Mr. Chairman, I would like to commend you on page 19 on the initiative that has to do with the cancer awareness program and partnership. Mr. Chairman, that's a good one. I thank you for that. Cancer is a disease that is killing people today. I thank you and I pray that the money that you are using to do that, that God will reach your pocket. Mr. Chairman, I would also like to ask a question. I noticed that the federal government is doing an initiative program for civil servants that has to do with life. People like the DGs, the ministers, that have to do with life. Mr. Chairman, what I'm asking is, how are we keen to this program to bring more profitability into the business? And last but not least, Mr. Chairman, the other speaker talked about cybercrime. Yes, cybercrime is a menace eating the financial sector. What are we doing to combat that? And last but not least, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to commend the Office of the Company Secretary for the good job he has doing. 247, he has always been there, answering us. And like I said, like the earlier speaker said, there are some strategic questions that he gives answer. And last but not least, Mr. Chairman, coordination registrars, Mrs. Adeleye, I thank her for her coordination. And like I said, Madam, kudos to you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. We need to make a progress. Madam, the first word, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to ask two questions. Sir, on the board, my name is Mrs. E.O. Obide, the National Coordinator of AIICO of God Shareholder Association Incorporated. Sir, I would like to know why the female gender on the board are not up to 33%. It's very important for the board, at least to make life easy for the male on the board. Secondly, sir, your corporate social responsibility. You've displayed how it was given. But, sir, shareholder here that were your investors, our picture is not here. If we advertise our company, how would they know that we are one of shareholders? Please, sir, let's see how it can go. Another question is our bill. You've shown us our products. It's a way of advertisement to people that will tell about our company, AIICO Insurance. But I believe at this AGM, for sales department, is another avenue to display our brochure so that we can give our people outside that we told them about AIICO Insurance. At another AGM next year, I think we should try and bring some bill to the venue. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you very much. We'll take a last question. We have to make a progress. Please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Anthony Kachi. I'm the president of Noble Shareholders Association. I'm not going to bother you much. A lot of comments have been made about the financial position of the company. The company is doing well, but I want to focus more on two things. One, the share price issue is a matter of concern to all of us who are investors. Investors always look at two things: bonus or share price. And the share price of this company is not a reflection of the performance of what I'm having here. The company did very well, so please try and do something. The fundamentals are very strong, and they are encouraging. So do something to beef up your share price. And how do you do it? Either you give bonus, or you do some aggressive marketing, and also convey to the public your products and services so that once people know you and improve on your corporate social responsibility, you will see that your share price will improve. Share pricing, there are a lot of factors involved. It's a matter of perception. And it's also a function of the management. You have a very strong management team. I've tested your product in the early 80s. I have a life insurance policy. It matured after 15 years, and I claim my money. You should leverage on your strength. Your strength over the years, I know, is on life. Leverage on it so that you do use it for market penetration. 220 million people, the penetration is under 5%. Because I talk on statistics. Perhaps it's a reflection of my training. I also want you to tell us what strategy are you going to adopt for the upcoming capitalization. Because as you know, the banks are coming for the second phase. So you must try and make sure the timing of the capitalization, roll out your plans early to the shareholders so that we can key in into your plans. And then you will see that once that is done, you will not have much problem in terms of people over-subscribing for your shares. AIICO has done well. I want to use this opportunity to congratulate the management, the board, for excellent accounts you've presented. This account is very, very good. And I want to repeat, it's not a reflection. It does not reflect your share price. Your share price will go up, do the needful, and you will see that people will beat a path to your doorstep in terms of AIICO. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, members, shareholders, for your valuable inputs and comments. We'll try our best to address all your questions and answers which you have raised. I personally would like to touch base the subject of dividends. Many shareholders associations and members have raised the issue of dividends. I just want to highlight certain facts. As you rightly notice that last year we have declared 5 kobo, and this year this has gone up to 7 kobo, which is almost 40% growth. Now, in terms of numbers, the last year dividend in terms of the value was 1.8 billion. This has gone to 2.56 billion this year. So in terms of amount, the value also, the dividend has gone by 730 million. You also will realize that in terms of payout ratio, our last year payout ratio was 24%, and this year the payout ratio of the dividend is 28%. You all must have scrutinized many balance sheets. Most of you are the economists. I hope you understand and appreciate it is equally important to plow back the profits of the company for reinvestment, for continuous growth. One of the members have raised the issue of sustainability. We don't want a situation that we pay a higher dividend in 1 year and next year we are not able to sustain. It is very important we constantly pay dividends to our shareholders. I'm sure that MD will give some more insight in terms of our company's dividend policy. Yeah, so that's about the dividend. I will now request MD to take it up some other questions raised by the members in terms of claims, in terms of many areas which has been raised by the members. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Good afternoon, esteemed shareholders. I will try and Okay. I will try and provide some responses to some of the questions that have been provided. The chairman has already spoken about our dividend. Our dividend policy is adjusted for economic, capital, solvency requirements. We strive to pay 40% of our profits. So our target is to achieve 40% while we retain the balance for capital. And that leads me to the next response to recapitalization. The new bill that was just approved by the National Assembly provides a new capital limit of 25 billion for a composite insurer. That is 15 billion for non-life and 10 billion for life. And they also provide a provision for risk-based capital. In most cases, risk-based capital would be higher than minimum capital. That new law has not been signed by the president yet and is expected to be signed this year. So one of the reasons AIICO is also cautious, as the chairman has mentioned, is largely because of risk-based capital, not minimum capital. Under the new regime, we would have to publish our risk-based capital. And our risk-based capital is essentially the capital we are holding for the amount of risk we have on our books. That would differ from company to company. I hope that provides. Also, I would like to provide some feedback on cyber risk that was raised by one of the shareholders. AIICO Insurance is currently certified under the ISO British Standard Institute for both ISO 27001, which is information security, and also for ISO 22301, which essentially is related to business continuity. Those two standards require us to be certified each year to see how AIICO is exposed to some of the risks that have been raised today. I can assure you, shareholders, we continually work on our cyber security and our business continuity in case of a hack. We've noted the comments on unclaimed dividends, and the company secretary will provide some context on that. In addition, I think it's important, Mrs. Bakari asked a question on expected and incurred claims. That's a very good question, madam. In insurance, I would like to provide some context under IFRS 17 in layman's terms. Expected claims are essentially the claims that we expect to happen based on historical loss ratios. Now, the incurred are the actual claims that we paid. Now, in this case, you asked the question as to why incurred is higher than expected. The fundamental reason is the devaluation of the naira. So if you look at part of the reason in the accounts is that you can't see the losses that would incur from devaluation of the naira. You will only see the gains. So you see the gains, but that offsets the losses from claims. So if you have provisioned initially at 800 naira, and then when the actual claim occurred, it was 1,005 to $1, the actual loss is higher than the expected. That's the reason for that. Thank you. I believe there are a lot of comments around the corporate governance. I just would say that the board has noted them, especially around gender balance, the INET, and of course the reports of the consultants on the corporate governance. In addition to that, board composition as well. I would like to provide some context on the reinsurance contracts. AIICO Insurance in the last 4 years has diversified its portfolio to underwrite oil and gas. And you see that from that proportion, most oil and gas risks are reinsured. It means that close to 65 to 67% of our premiums that we write for oil and gas were paid on reinsurance. The reason is simple. Most local companies cannot fully underwrite the claims in oil and gas risks, which can be upwards of $20 billion, $30 billion. So what we do is to reinsure to the offshore markets to be able to withstand losses if they incur. But in most cases, to reduce the reinsurance cost, which has always been a debating point we have with our board, is to mix our products. So motor insurance has a lower reinsurance cost compared to oil and gas. So the question now is, how do we balance our books to ensure that we're able to write a lot more motor insurance than just oil and gas? And I can tell you, shareholders, that we're working on this going into the next 5-year strategy. We've noted the comments also on providing details on our subsidiary boards and our CEOs. We would ensure that that is captured in the next annual report. We noted that it was discussed in the last AGM, and our sincere apologies that it was not addressed in this meeting. On the audit fee, I can't really comment on that. Maybe the CFO can provide some comments on the audit fee. In terms of our subsidiary, especially health, the MD of our health business will provide a quick comment on that, just to give the shareholders some views on what we are doing in health insurance. We've noted the comments, also on the dividend level and, of course, our share price. And we'll continue to work on our dividends because we know the impact it has on our share price. As Mr. Anthony mentioned, we have liabilities more in life than non-life. That makes us a bit more conservative in the way we distribute our dividends, because life contracts are contracts that we have to pay, like annuity and so on. But we'll continue to work on our dividend policy and surprise Mr. Nona above 9 kobo in 2025. We've noted the comments also on donations, and we would also ensure that that is improved upon going forward. The comments on third party are also noted. And now I would like to ask my colleague, Dr. Leke, to speak briefly on our health insurance business. Thank you.
Board, distinguished shareholders, I salute you. Thank you for attending today. The health insurance business has a very bright future. In 2022, a law was passed making it compulsory for every resident of the Federal Republic to carry health insurance, which means that everyone here should have health insurance. Please patronize AIICO Multi-Shield when you are buying your health insurance. But more importantly, it's been observed here that insurance penetration is only 5% for the general and life insurance in Nigeria. The law makes it compulsory that there will be 100% penetration for health insurance. And we really envisage the day when the health insurance subsidiary will be even bigger than the life and general insurance. This is our expectation. As it is now, our regulator is both regulating and holding funds for the government business. So sometimes we have to negotiate some funds with them. This year, there was a post-balance sheet event which allowed us to recoup some of the funds that are outstanding with our regulator. But we are very optimistic that as the state begin to roll out their health insurance plans, our business will continue to grow. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Leke. I'll now request our CFO to give some explanation on the issue of statutory audit fees one of the members have raised. CFO.
Thank you very much, sir. Good afternoon, distinguished shareholders. Sir, I didn't quite get his concern on the audit fee, but looking at page 244, our audit fee for 2023 was 54, and then in 2023 was 54, and then it increased to 62 in 2024. However, going down, just like the MD explained, you know, under IFRS 17, our overheads is split into two, non-attributable and attributable. The attributable is part of what we have on the top line. So it is the non-attributable that you see as other expenses in the financials. So the portion where you have down here is that portion of the audit fee that is categorized as non-attributable expenses. I hope that clarifies the concern. Thank you.
Thank you, CFO. There was also a question about a request of our company secretary to respond to that question.
Good afternoon again, and thanks for your patience so far. Three different things I'd like to briefly touch on before I talk about Anoluwapo's case that Chief Tony mentioned. One, board evaluation report, if you go to our website, it's actually posted there. So we cannot carry the entire documentation on the annual report. As required by regulation, it's posted on a website. It's basically the report page that comes to the annual report. The MD has already spoken around independent directors, and we'll work on ramping up to 3. The Anoluwapo's case that you wanted an explanation on, basically, is one of those matters that we would contest, not because we want to go into litigation, but because we can't fritter away your money because somebody wants free money. To put it in clear perspective, we haven't even paid the sum, the 190 million. No, we haven't. We're actually going on appeal. We have gone on appeal, actually. But what really transpired, one of the planks upon which we have even gone on appeal, beyond the merit of the case itself, the fact that judgment was delivered more than 1 year after matter was concluded in court. If you go to the relevant section of the Constitution, it says that judgment must be delivered not later than 90 days after final conclusion. For this matter, the judge, for some reasons we cannot explain, came out to give judgment more than 1 year. So purely on the face of the law itself, the judgment is a nullity. So based on that, we are contesting it. But based also on the merits, which we are not allowed to discuss here and now, we do know that we do have a strong case. If we ever have a bad case, we'll use several means, including alternative dispute resolutions, to sort it out. We are not in the business of wasting your money. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Kano. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your questions and inputs. And also thanks MD and the management team for the responses provided. If there are any further questions, feel free to send to the email ID of our company secretary, and it will be responded appropriately in good time. It is now time to vote. I stated before, voting on items on the agenda will be mostly by the poll. I now invite the registrar to explain the e-voting process. Registrars.
Good day, Mr. Chairman, directors, and esteemed shareholders. My name is Mary Adeleye, and I will proceed to explain the procedure for casting your votes using the devices provided. Please be informed that we have captured the voting details for 95 shareholders received by proxy and holding 26,610,111,551 units of AIICO Insurance PLC shares, which represents 72.69% of the issued share capital. In addition to the proxies received, we will be capturing the votes of shareholders physically present at this meeting to arrive at the final voting result. You have been assigned a voting device that we have configured to represent your shareholding in AIICO Insurance PLC. On your voting parts, the button 1A is for a yes vote, 2B is for a no vote, and 3C is for an abstain vote. Once the voting commences, please press the reference button in accordance with your decision or choice, and note that each shareholder can change their vote during the voting period. But once the voting period has ended, the last button you pressed will be recorded as your vote. For shareholders voting using their mobile devices, scan the QR code with your phone camera or visit vote.coronationregistrars.com on your phone browser. Select the company event, AIICO Insurance PLC. Ensure you accept the privacy policy. Once logged in, an amber sign appears at the top right corner of your device to show attendance status. When voting begins, the resolution will automatically pop up on your screen to cast your vote. Once the voting session commences, the voting option for, against, and abstain will pop up on your device screen. Please click on the reference button in accordance with your decision or choice. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, registrars. I now confirm to the meeting that the report of the directors and the statement of financial position as at 31st December 2024, together with the statement of comprehensive income for the year ended on that date and the reports thereon of the auditors and the Statutory Audit Committee be and are hereby laid. Would someone please rise and second the motion? Okay, so we are moving to agenda 2 of the meeting, which is the next item of the agenda is the declaration of dividend pursuant to the powers vested in AHA by the provision of section 426 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act, 2020 of Nigeria, and your board of directors is hereby proposing a dividend of 7 kobo per share from the retained earnings account as at December 31st, 2024. Accordingly, I hereby move that a dividend of 7 kobo per share amounting to Naira 2,562,369,508 Naira and 70 kobo only, subject to withholding tax in respect of and out of the profit after taxation for the year ended 31st December 2024, is recommended for payment to the members whose names appeared in the register as of May 25, 2025. Voting on this item on the agenda will be by poll. We will now vote on this resolution. Registrars can start the process.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We'll have the resolution on display and the timer is on. We have 60 seconds to vote.
Okay, all right. Motion seconded by, please. Yeah, your name once again.
Thank you very much, Chairman. Ibekwe Roberts Adenova, I stand to second that motion. Ibekwe Roberts Adenova, I stand to second that motion. Thank you.
Thank you. Registrars, you can start the process.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So we'll repeat the process. We'll wait for this to time out and repeat it. Okay, so we'll repeat the process now. The timer is on, 60 seconds. You may now cast your vote. Thank you. We have 40 seconds left of the voting period. Please press 1 on your voting device if you are in support of the resolution. Press 2 if against, or 3 to abstain. Thank you. We have 20 seconds left of the voting period. On your voting devices, press 1 if in support, press 2 if against, or 3 to abstain. The voting has ended, and we have 99.95% in support of this resolution from the vote of 271 shareholders, and this represents 26,624,703,074 units. Also, we have 4 shareholders who voted against this resolution with a total of 25,078 units, and 3 shareholders representing 0.05% abstained with a total holding of 13,830,205 units. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. With the results declared by the registrars, I hereby declare that the motion has been duly carried. The next item on the agenda is the election, the retirement of the directors by rotation and re-election in accordance with the Articles of Association of the company. Ms. Folakemi Edun and Mrs. Samaila Zubairu are directors retiring by rotation under Article 102 of the Companies Articles and Section 285(2) of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020, being eligible and having indicated their willingness to stay in office. They also present themselves for re-election. I will now propose their re-election singly. I hereby move that the retiring director, Mrs. Folakemi Edun, be and is hereby re-elected director of your company. Can someone second the motion? Third row, this gentleman, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Ifeanyi Julian Nkiruka. I second the motion.
Thank you. Voting on this item on the agenda at the meeting will be by poll.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Please start the process, registrars.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The timer is on now. Please cast your votes accordingly. Press 1 on your voting device if in support of this resolution. Press 2 if against, or 3 to abstain. Thank you. Please press 1 on your voting device if in support of the resolution. Press 2 if against, or 3 to abstain. We have 10 seconds left of the voting period. The voting has ended, and we have 254 shareholders in favor of this resolution, which represents 26,625,775,683 units. And we have 5 shareholders who voted against this resolution with a total of 76,994 units. And we have 3 shareholders who abstained from this resolution, holding a total of 193,772 units. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thanks, Registrars. With the results declared by the Registrar, I hereby declare that the motion has been duly carried. Now, I hereby move that the retiring director, Mrs. Samela Zubero, be and is hereby re-elected director of your company. Can someone second the motion, please?
Thank you, my amiable chairman. The name is Engineer Victor Inyinaya. I second the motion.
Thank you very much. Voting on this item on the agenda at the meeting will be by poll. We will now vote on this resolution. Registrar, please start the process.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The timer is on. Please press 1 on your devices if you're in support. Press 2 if against, or 3 to abstain. Thank you. We have 30 seconds left of the voting period. We have 10 seconds left of the voting period. The voting has ended, and we have 256 shareholders in favor of this resolution, representing 26,636,296,128 units. And we have 3 shareholders who voted against this resolution with a total holding of 105,956 units, and 4 shareholders who abstained from the resolution, holding 229,109 units. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thanks, Registrar. Once again, based on the results, I hereby declare that the motion has been duly carried. The next item on the agenda is to authorize the directors to fix the remuneration of the external auditors. The audit firm Ernst & Young Professional Services, the external auditors of your company, have performed their duties credibly for the outgoing years. In accordance with Section 401 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020, Ernst & Young Professional Services have indicated their willingness to continue in office as external auditors of the company. It is, however, required that their remuneration be fixed by the company in general meeting or such manner as the company in general meeting may determine. I therefore move that the directors be and are hereby authorized to reappoint the firm Ernst & Young Professional Services as the auditors till the end of the financial year, and for the directors to fix the remuneration of Messrs. Ernst & Young Professional Services, who have indicated their willingness to continue in office as auditors of the company until the end of the current financial year. Can someone second the motion, please? Okay, madam, please.
Thank you, my able
It's okay, it's okay. Maybe in the next one. All right.
Thank you, my able chairman. I, Prince Awosanya, I so second, all the way from Rama Federal Constituency.
Thank you. Voting on this item on the agenda at this meeting will be by poll. We will now vote on this resolution. Registrar, please start the process.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The timer is on. Please press 1 if in support of this resolution. Press 2 on your voting devices if against, or 3 to abstain. Thank you. We have 20 seconds to the end of the voting period. Please press 1 on your voting device if in support. Press 2 if against, or 3 to abstain. Thank you. The voting has ended, and we have 99.95% in favor of the resolution from 259 shareholders, and this represents 26,624,492,936 units. And we have 6 shareholders who voted against the resolution, representing 332,631 units, and 500 shareholders who abstained from the resolution, with a total holding of 13,647,109 units. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Registrar. Based on the voting results, I hereby declare that the motion has been duly carried. The next item on the agenda is to disclose the remuneration of managers. The cumulative effect of Section 257 of CAMA 2020 and Section 238 of CAMA 2020 requires that the remuneration of the managers of the company must be disclosed to the members of the company at the AGM, and that such disclosure is categorized as a key business to be transacted at an AGM, which can be deemed as ordinary business of the company's meeting. Paragraph 49 of the company's regulation, made pursuant to Section 4 of CAMA, has defined a manager to include any person by whatever name called occupying a position in senior management who is vested with a significant autonomy, discretion, and authority in the administration and management of the affairs of the company, whether in whole or in part. This definition clarifies the category of employees noted in Section 257 of the Act. The key management personnel compensation and directors' remuneration for the year ended 31st December 2024 can be seen clarified on page 245, note 28 of the annual reports and accounts. For ease of clarity, the senior management compensation is categorized into fixed pay, short-term incentive, long-term incentives, and retirement benefits. The short and long-term incentives align with the organization's incentive scheme and are derived from the annual bonus that accrues to staff in a reporting year. The annual bonus crystallizes based on the following overriding conditions: dividends, profit before tax, positive retained earnings, and return on equity. The long-term incentive component was started in 2019, constitute 30% of the eligible employees' annual bonus, and vest after 3 years, according to the organization's deferred bonus scheme. This long-term component, although converted to phantom share units, using book value per share, is settled in cash. I therefore confirm that the remuneration of the managers be and is hereby disclosed to the shareholders. The next item on the agenda is the election of the members of the Statutory Audit Committee. In line with Section 404(2) of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020, the board has elected 2 members of its to represent it on the audit committee. They are Mr. Raymond Snyders and Mrs. Kemi Adewale. As for the shareholders, the representative of the committee, the secretary has reported that 19 nomination has been received by him from the members in accordance with Section 404(6). 19. Section 406 of the Companies and Allied Matter Acts 2020. All the 19 nominations were confirmed valid. I will now invite Company Secretary to go through the names. Maximum 3 members are statutorily required from the shareholders' representative to bring the number of the committee to its maximum of 5. Since we have 19 nominations from the members within the stipulated time, I wish to suggest that we ask the registrars and the auditors to conduct the election to elect the 3 members for the shareholders. I will request the company secretary to take it over from here, the process of election for members of the Statutory Audit Committee.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Sorry, so prior to the commencement of this meeting, we got a number of persons who said they are no longer contesting. The total number I have here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people said they are no longer contesting based on the documents we received. If there are other persons that stepped down but without informing us, I won't be able to speak to that. So based on the list, persons who are eligible and have continued to show intentions of contesting are, in no particular order, Adekombi David Ademola, Adetunji Ajani Babajide, Akintunde Mary Adeola, Adio Olaoluwa Simeon, Chief Akinsonya Adeolu, Alaga Kolawole Muftao, Igwe Roberts Ihanyi Chukwu, Atu. Sorry, can we proceed? Time is fast spent, please. Atu Raphael Naji, Onyenekwe Florence,
Okay, so I request registrars to explain the process.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The statutory committee voting will be done through electronic voting.
Okay, so please, registrars. What is it now? Okay, so I'll request registrar to proceed to conduct the election
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Esteemed shareholder, based on your demand, the voting for the Statutory Audit Committee will be done by show of hand. Okay, so we'll start with the first name. Onyinekwe Florence, please come forward so that the shareholders will know who you are. If in support, please raise your hand. Please keep your hand up so we can count. Mrs. Oyenekwe Florence. Thank you, esteemed shareholders. Thank you. You can drop your hands. Thank you. Yes, we have. So we have the next nominee, Ato Raphael Naji. Please come forward. Ato Raphael Naji. Please keep your hand up while we count. Thank you. Next, we have Igwe Robert Ianachuku. Thank you. So next is Mrs. Efuyemi Abideyi. Mrs. Efuyemi Abideyi. Obideyi, apologies. Mrs. Obideyi. Thank you. So next is Mr. Alaga Kolawole. Alaga Kolawole. Next, we have Chief Akinsoya Adeolu. Chief Akinsoya Adeolu. Next is Adio Olaoluwa. Adio Olaoluwa Simon. Next, we have Akintunde Mary Adeola. Akintunde Mary Adeola. Dear shareholders, please be reminded you cannot vote more than 3 times. Please be reminded you cannot vote more than 3 times. Thank you. Next is Adetunji Ajani Babajide. Adetunji Ajani Babajide. And Alagba Akiololu Joseph. Okay. Adekombi David Ademola.
Registrars will announce the result very soon. Please allow them couple of minutes. They are working on it. Registrars, please show the results if you are ready. Note.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We are ready. So the outcome of our statutory committee election, the first and the highest count goes to Igwe Robert Ihiancho, 203 votes. The next is Onyenekwe Florence, 133 votes, followed by Ato Raphael Naji, 124 votes. Fourth on the list is at Akintunde Mary Adiola, 61 votes. Alaga Kolawole, 44 votes. Mrs. Obideyi, 34 votes. And last but not the least, Mr. Adio Olaoluwa Simon, 26 votes. There were no votes for Chief Akinsoya, no votes for Mr. Adetunji, and no votes for Adekombi David. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, registrars. You still have to tell us the 3 members with the highest votes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So the 3 highest score, those starts with Mr. Igwe Robert Iheanachuku, 203 votes. Oyenekwe Florence, 133 votes. Ato Raphael Naji, 124 votes.
Thank you. Thank you, registrars. Ladies and gentlemen, we have all witnessed the election of the members of the Statutory Audit Committee. In line with the results as produced by the registrars and the auditors, I therefore declare that the following shareholders and the directors have been duly elected members of AIICO Statutory Audit Committee until the conclusion of next annual general meeting in accordance with the provisions of the Companies and Allied Matters Act. Mrs. Onainikwe Florence, Chief Robert Igwe, Mr. Atu Raphael Naji, Mr. Raymond Snyders, and Mrs. Olawakemi Adewole. Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of the ordinary business to be considered at this meeting. May we now proceed to deliberate on the special business of the day. We have one item under special business, which is that the director's remuneration for the period ended December 31st, 2024, as contained on page number 246 of annual report and accounts 2024, be and is hereby approved. Are there any questions before the motion is put to the meeting? Can someone rise and second the motion? Okay. Madam. Observation.
The ushers have gone out. Mr. Chairman, this got to do non-executive directors' remunerations, which you yourself also involve. So I think it's proper for the MD to take over these resolutions, to move this motion, and it be seconded on the floor before the voting. Special business. Yeah. The MD have to take that responsibility, that function. Is involved on directors, non-executive director remunerations. Yeah, it's the MD should take that resolution.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of the ordinary business to be considered at this meeting. May we now proceed to deliberate on the special business of the day, that the director's remuneration for the period ended December 31st, 2024, as contained in page 246 of the annual report and accounts 2024, be and is hereby approved. Seconder, please. The lady in green.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for the opportunity. The name is Akitunde Mary. I do second.
Are there any questions before the motion is put to the meeting? Voting on this item or the agenda at this meeting will be by poll.
Thank you, sir. We'll have the resolution on display. Thank you, sir. The timer is on. Oh dear. The timer is on. Please vote. We have 30 seconds left for the voting period. $20 seconds left. $10 seconds left of the voting period. The voting has ended, and we have 190 shareholders who voted in support of this resolution, representing 26,628,815,754. We have one shareholder who who voted against this resolution, holding 2,333. One shareholder who abstained with a total of 700 units. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I hereby declare that the motion has been duly carried.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have dealt with all the formal business of this meeting. I would like to thank you again on behalf of the board for attending and showing so much interest in the affairs of our company. I hereby declare the meeting closed. Wishing you all a safe return journey to your respective destination. God bless you all. Thank you.